Hello friends, my name is Praveen and in this video we are going to discuss about how to create an HTML launch page in WebFOCUS and how to integrate your text file, your charts, everything into the launch page. Okay, so this is the screen and what we are going to do is we are going inside localhost data server and inside EDA server, you can select the folder in which you want to create a launch page. So basically launch pages are something where we have control to run our reports and charts based on the selection we do from the drop down or radio button or anything. So we are in the folder and let's go to create an HTML page. So you need to go to new and create an HTML page or document. Okay, so leave everything as default. You select the folder where you want to create the launch page or HTML file. Okay, and I would say next. So here there are several options. You can see we have an option to select certain template, but we don't want to do that. So let's go and say finish. So this is the page we are going to get. It is kind of blank canvas. You can do anything. You can do basically, you can add images, you can add reports, you can add charts, anything over here. So also, if you see there is an option here, it is written as to import existing HTML content. Click here before beginning your work. So this will come only for once. If you drag and drop some components from these places, this option will be gone. You cannot choose this option again. So this is basically if you have the same look and feel for a chart for a launch page which is already available. So you can import the content from here. So for now, we are not going to do that. So let's go and drag a report over here. So just click on the report and drag and drop to whatever place you want. You can further increase or decrease the size and the position. And the next thing what we are going to do is we are going to right click on the report and we see here there are certain options. We can either go and create a new report, we can create a new document, we can import existing reports. So it is basically import everything, all the facts, code and everything, it will be imported if you go with this option. But the most common one which we mostly use is reference existing procedure. So let's go and create, select this option. And here there are certain facts and procedures which are already there. So we have identified one procedure which is named as report one. So let's select this. So there are two parameters which are already there in the report, and it is asking me to create control automatically. But I don't want this. I'll just uncheck this and say okay. So we got the report. Now I just want to add another chart. Just click on the chart, and again we need to go with the same option, drag and drop. Okay, and further we can increase, decrease the size, or we can change the position depending on how we want to place it. So we have done this. Now again we are going to go with the same option, the reference existing procedure. So click on that, and we have one chart which is already available here. So just select this, and here also it is asking the same thing. I will tell you the reason why it is asking, because in the fix file the parameters are already there, so it is asking if you want to create it automatically. So I don't want this. Again I'll go and uncheck this option and say okay. So we got the chart, we have the report, and we have the chart. Now we want to go with the next thing. Let's do a little bit of formatting. Since report is taking lesser width, I am decreasing the width and increasing for chart. So this is the basic layout. It doesn't have any parameter, any control or anything. If you just want to run and see how it looks, this is coming like that. But since scroll bar is coming, so I don't want horizontal scroll bar. So I'll just increase the width a little bit, and let's see how it looks now. Okay, so this is scroll bar is gone. Now we want to do another thing. We want to add a button. So for the button, we have this option. Just click on that, and again, the size and everything we can have it as per what your requirement is. So it comes with this. The default name is button. I can go to the properties and change the name. So name is equal to button one, and value I can say run report. Let's go to the property and see. We have changed the name over here, and it's reflected. Okay. Now, if I run this launch page and click on run button, it doesn't do anything because we just added the button. We have not added any of the control or any action based on this run button. So in order to add a control or action over a button, we have to go to task and animation. So when we come to this place, just remember, click on this option. So this toggle details. So if you are comfortable with this option, you can add it over here, but this is more clear. I come to this place, toggle option, and then here we can see we have load button, load event, and at the load event, we are running report one and chart one. Okay. So if we want to add an action, we have to click on this option, this drop down, click on this and say new. And trigger type is click. Here you can see there are multiple options, but we are going to go with click. Select button one, and now we have the action. So run request, report one. Okay. And then where we want to run the report, we want to run inside the same frame. Select frame and select report one. So this is done. For report one, we have add the run event, like at the run of at the click of run button. This report one will run. We have to add similarly for chart one also. So go with the same option, run request and select chart one. Again, frame and inside of chart one. Okay. So that is done. Click on close button. So that is done. Now I'll just save it and give some name. Suppose I say you cannot add space. If you try to add space, by default it will add underscore. Click on OK. And now you click on run. Okay. So we have run the launch page, and now click on run report. So you can see the report get refreshed. So basically, report and the chart, it is running again, but without any effect, because we are not passing any value, any parameter based on which the report should refresh. So this is just one thing. Now the next thing we are going to do is we want to pass the parameter, and we want to filter our report based on what parameter we are passing. Okay. So let's go to control and select drop down from the control. So I just click on drop down, and now this drop down is added. I want to pass the values into that. Okay. So we'll go with select this drop down, go to setting, and here we have an option. We can keep on adding the values. So we can say, suppose we are passing name of the country, so we'll say England and France. So we can keep on adding the values, whatever number of values you want, we can keep on adding that. And we can see if we run the report, you can see these values are coming over here. But for now, what we are going to do is, since we are using car file for this report as well as this chart, we want the values to populate on the same car file. So we selected this component which is drop down, and we can click on setting and we can go to dynamic. So under dynamic, so we have different options. We have default and we have explicit. But explicit is something where we want to populate the values from fx file, or there are certain logics in the fx file and we want to populate values from there. But right now we are going to go with default. So click on default and select the file from here. So I'll select car file and say okay. And from car file, let's see what value we want to pass. Suppose we want to pass the country. Double click on that. So value from and display from both are country. Okay. And also if we want to have all values, so we can click on this add all option. And now if you run the report, here we can see all the countries which are available in the car file, those are coming over here. Okay. Now the next thing we are going to do is, let's add another drop down, which is basically car names. So go with the same option, dynamic, default, car is already selected. I can select car from here. Okay. And here also I'll go and select add all option. In order to identify which is what, we can go to component and we can select this text component. Okay, and here I can say similarly for this I can select, say select. So now if we run the report, we can identify whether we want to select country from here and we want to select car from here. Okay, so we can select the value and run the report, but it will not change anything in the report as well as in the chart, because as of now the values over here is not integrated with the fx file. Okay, so here we come. This is the most important part of uh, launch page design. So we are mostly we face issue while passing the parameter to the fixed file. So what we can do is, let's open chart 2, which is our chart. So basically you don't get confused with chart 1 and chart 2 over here. So if I go to first and open text editor, it is opening chart 2 only because it is chart 2. Okay, the name coming over there is chart 1, but don't get confused with that. Okay, so what we are doing here is we have given default for country name and car name. Similarly, for report 1, if I open report 1, we have done the same thing, default value for country name and car name. Okay, so what we can do at this place is we want to add a filter. We want to add a filter based on whatever is selected from country and car, the data should refresh based on that. So let's take the same name. Well, time, person. So these are two filters. Let me copy the same for chart also, because we want the same thing to happen with the chart also. Now let's go back to the launch page and let's run this launch page. So we are getting 0 records for none and for none. Okay, so we have to first pass the parameter. Let's go and go to request and data source. We can see these parameters are there, but these are not passed to the report. Similarly in chart also, the parameters are available, but those are not passed from the launch page. We can identify this with looking at the colors. So let's go and make a change for country. So go to the parameter tab over here, drop country name outside, and in order to pass the parameter, what we have to do is combo box 1 is nothing but this, whatever we are selecting in the country. So you can see the unique identifier is combo box 1. We can change that. So suppose let's change that to DDL underscore country. Okay. Similarly, let's change this to DDL underscore car. So DDL I'm giving is basically this is drop down list, and since it is country, we are giving underscore country underscore car. So now we know this is a component for country and this is the parameter for country. So in order to bind both of them, we need to drag DDL underscore country and drop it when you start getting plus sign. So just notice here, we are getting plus sign when we come inside. As soon as your cursor comes into country name, we are getting plus sign. So just drop it. The binding is done. Okay. And now when we go to the design page again and go to request and data source, and here you can see the color is changed. It is little yellow color. So for both of them, it is little yellow color. So we are basically the values, whatever we'll select for the country, it will pass to the flex files for chart as well as for the report. But car name is not passing as of now. So we'll do similar stuff for car name also. So just put it inside, and again DDL underscore car will do the same fashion. So as soon as we get plus sign, we need to drag and drop and go to the design page again, and let's save it and run it. So we are getting the values. Let's select England and run the report. So we are getting data only for England. So you can see for England, we have Jaguar, Jensen, and Trump. These three cars are there. So let's select Jaguar and run the report. So we are getting this data. But there is a problem here. Suppose we selected England for the country and we are selecting some car which is not available here. So let's select Toyota, which belongs to Japan basically, and we run the report. So we are getting error, no data. Okay, so that is a problem. So what we want is whatever country we select from here, the car belonging to that country only should populate over here. So basically, this is called as chaining in WebFOCUS. Okay, so in order to do the chaining, the first requirement is they both should be coming from the same data source. If not, there are some other settings which needs to be done. But for now, let's do the chaining from country to car. Okay. So what we are going to do is drag country and drop inside of another component, which is car. As soon as you start getting plus sign, just drop it. Okay. Now the chaining is done. Let's go and run the report again. You can see all the values are getting populated, but as soon as you select England, you are getting only three values which belongs to England. You can select any of them and run the report. You can select all and you can run the report. Okay, so let's save this and there are certain other options, and if you are going to discuss about all of them, the video is going to be very long. So do let me know if you want to ask about something specific, if you want to cover something specific. So I'll do that for you. Let me know your comments and feedback. That will help me to improve the things, and that will also help me to cover some new topic if you want to. Okay, thank you all.